What's up, regulators? Been pretty busy recently, but today I just got to quickly change the battery in my ute, and once I get it out I'll load test it and that and make sure it's no good, because I am pretty positive that it is. Basically, you start it up, you can drive to where you want to go and start it up again, but if you don't start it for about a day, it'll have no guts left, so then I got to jump it. Basically, if it was the alternator, the battery wouldn't work once you get to where you want to go. You know, it wouldn't be able to be sort of revived after every trip. So it sort of looks to be the battery. Pretty positive it's the battery. I already bought one. It's been my passenger for 2 weeks. Just chilling out in here and finally rip it out. Alright, we'll just pop the bonnet. Been really busy. I've been working for myself now, fixing heavy vehicles and whatever else I do. A little bit of plant equipment, utes, and haven't been getting much of a break, so I haven't been able to change this battery. I've jump started it like 6 times over the last 2 weeks while this battery was in here, but I wanted to make this video, so now we can get to it. Tools are in the back of the ute. I did a couple other jobs today, so I got some tools left in another shed just across the gravel from here, but from what I remember, we just want a 10 mil, which we have. Over there, we did a set of brakes on a trailer, a trailer for a heavy rigid truck. So basically, something to know with this is the positives where the power's coming out. I think some people will say it comes out of the negative, but anyway, say it comes out of the positive. It's got to go to everything that uses the power, and then it needs, if you send the positive to whatever's taking power and it's not earthed, nothing's going to work. It needs to return back to this, so it needs to go out to power something and needs to come back here. So what happens is the power goes directly to whatever's going to use it, and then this gets connected to the frame of the car. Like, you know, this will get clamped to an earth out on the chassis, and then everywhere that gets the power can just be earthed out to the chassis and then find its way back to the terminal. So for instance, if you were going to wire up a light, you'd have to get the power from the light, power from this terminal, run it to your light, and then you should run it through a fuse and a relay perhaps, or a switch, whatever you're going to do, unless it's always going to be on. Run it to the light, then you could just use the earth wire that comes off your light and just put it anywhere on the chassis of the car, wherever it is, and it will find its way back to this earth right here. So what that means is, usually you want to undo the earth first, because if I'm just unwinding this screw right here, if I hit the chassis with my spanner, it doesn't matter, because this is the earth and this is the earth. It's already connected and joint. And what I should have said earlier is, you want to run this power through a light and back to earth, and if it doesn't go through any form of sort of load and you just have the positive going straight to the earth, that's how you create a short. And say for example, this right here is a part of the chassis, it's all bolted down to the frame. If I joint this and this and I just put my spanner on it right like that, I'd create a short, and this spanner would get real hot, zapped up, and it's not what you want. So it's not ideal. I could get away with unwinding this one first, but it's a bit more risky. If you just undo this one first, the only thing you can touch is the earth of the chassis, which is completely fine, because this is the earth terminal. Once it's off, now this power has wherever it's going, wherever my spanner's on it, it has no way of getting to this terminal because this is disconnected. So now I can unwind this, happy days, and nothing's going to happen. And now And then see, it doesn't matter where you put this because this is where the power is. Now there's no power anywhere in this ute. And I should believe that's a 12 mil. I'll go get it. Of course. What do I have here? 1/4 inch. Sockets for days out here. And then basically what a load tester does is you hook the load tester up to the positive and negative of the battery. Then you press a button down on the tester and it'll create a short. But it can tell how much power is going through the short. It gets real hot real quick as it would, but it has a meter and it can tell you how much power is actually going through during the short. If there's not much power going through, it's not going to read much and you'll have a low loaded battery which won't start your car, which is what I'm pretty positive I'm going to have here. And you can actually look at this indicator as well, see what it says. It says battery okay, but they're pretty weird then. I've seen sometimes it says it's on charge, it says to recharge and you do it and it's just working fine. They're weird, them indicators, I find. 1, 2. Same size, very good. Here. Now when I was there, I popped the bonnet at the shop and got that part number right there, matched it up. So you can get ones that have the positive and negative on the opposite sides and you don't want to stitch yourself up by doing that. Alright, boom. Now I'll tighten these down real quick. Okay, so what I have here is all 3 bolts loose. I'll just tighten this one up. Now I'll just do this one because it's closer. And basically I just don't want to over tighten it. I just sort of want to get it holding the battery down, which it's doing now. And then I'll go back to this side. And as soon as you feel a bit of tension, you can just stop. Right there. Go back. And solid as, not going anywhere. And then as usual, you go in reverse to how you pulled it off. So where did I put that spanner? Got caught red-handed there because I actually put it back on camera, back in my toolbox when I was getting that ratchet. Okay, so why you do it in reverse to how you put it back is that now tightening the power side, and if I earth this out by hitting the chassis, nothing's going to happen because I have the negative disconnected. Now that that's clamped in and tight, I can connect this one now, and now power will be able to flow through. But because this is a negative, I'll let it open up a bit more. Because this is a negative, if I earth this out with my spanner, it's okay because it's the earth terminal and I'll be earthing it out to the frame, which is the earth, so nothing will happen. Now that it's in here, I'll just tighten it up. No move, no move. A little bit loose. Not going anywhere near. And I'll just fire it up. Shouldn't have a drama. Very good. Alright, we'll go load and test the old one. So here it is. Basically you hook it up to the positive and negative and hit this switch. And then you just have this meter. I don't know, I wouldn't really like to do this on a brand new battery because it'd be kind of alright, like to make sure you have a good battery, but it just kind of really strains it. And I feel like you wouldn't really shorten the life of a battery very much by doing this really anyway, but I know that new one would be pretty good anyway, so I'll just do this just to prove that it was bad. Even just so I can know myself, even though I was pretty positive it's no good. Alright, so positive and negative. When I hit this button, I think it actually tells me there that it's at 13 volts, does it? Yep. So it's got 13 volts on this meter, but I think this capacity is not going to be very good. And what do I have to look for? Oh yeah, basically the voltage will drop when you load it up. But see, it's at 13. If it's a healthy battery, it probably only dropped to 12. So this one's going to drop right down, I bet. And it says to only hold on for a maximum of 10 seconds. So let's hit the switch, see what happens. Yeah, so it went straight down to weak and then down to bad. Pretty toasted. Anyway, that's that. So no more jump starting my car every 2 days. Can rip this out and give it a break. Catch us next time.